Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is May 8th, 2025 and Osasuna's appeal has been denied. Also, Marcus Rashford has offered himself to Barcelona through Pini Zahavi. That's huge. And finally, after a long hiatus, Xavi Hernandez has given an interview where he has discussed his time at Barcelona and what he thinks of Hansi Flick's Barca. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and we're starting with the same segment that we started yesterday's video, which is ridiculous things that have happened in football. This one is more of ridiculous things that are happening in football, but either way, it's ridiculous however you look at it, because as you know by now, Real Madrid television, every week they issue a video about whatever referee has been assigned to their match, pretty much trashing the referee, making him look like he is out to get them, that he's horrible, corrupt, or whatever. They've been doing this for years. And this, of course, Real Madrid have caught some flack from other teams and from many other people criticizing their practice of trying to put pressure on referees through their television. And well, now the media in Madrid are trying to say that what Barcelona have done, which is complain about the referees after the defeat at the hands of Inter Milan, is the same of what Real Madrid does. Let that sink in. Making a video about the referee who will ref your upcoming match week after week, month after month, year after year for the last 4 or 5 years, that's the same as complaining about the referee after the fact that he screwed you over. Again, let that sink in. I mean, this is obviously just just a lame, failed attempt at try to dilute this awfulness that Madrid have been doing through their television, trying to put pressure on referees, trying to, tip the balances in their favor. They're just trying to dilute it, make it seem like, oh, it's no big deal. Look, Barcelona complains about the refs, we're doing the same. I'm sorry, but that's not the same. Not even close. But anyways, that concludes our segment of ridiculous things that happen in football. Actually, no, it doesn't conclude it. There's more. And this time it's not about Real Madrid because they are the kings of ridiculousness. But I almost forgot. We have to talk about Osasuna because their appeal has been denied. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I've covered this in several videos. We all remember the match between Real Madrid and Osasuna as soon as the last FIFA international break was over after Barcelona defeated Osasuna. Osasuna filed a complaint saying that Iñigo Martinez should not have been allowed to be included in the lineup because Iñigo Martinez had initially been called to the Spanish national team during the FIFA international break. He got injured, so he didn't go. And there's a FIFA rule says that if a player doesn't report to their national team during a FIFA international break, he cannot play in the league for 5 days after the FIFA international break is over. Now, Osasuna filed a complaint. That complaint was dismissed because it's not that Iñigo Martinez did not show up. He got injured. The Spanish national team released him, and they called someone else in his place. That's completely different. Now, Osasuna lost that complaint, so then they appealed it. And well, today, the appeal was denied. So I guess there were more ridiculous things to talk about because it was already pretty embarrassing when Osasuna filed that complaint, because the precedent that Barcelona used had actually happened to Osasuna back in the early 2000s. Osasuna went through the same thing. One of their players was called up to a FIFA international break. He got injured, so he didn't go. After the break was over, I think it was Mallorca or Malaga, filed a complaint saying that that player should not be allowed to play. And, well, the committee said no because that player had been released. So literally the same thing happened to Osasuna. They benefited from that rule, and then they try to use it against Barcelona, and well, La Liga said no, that's not how it works. And then it was even more embarrassing when they went and appealed it. And then once again, it's been denied. So Osasuna, get it together, man. You lost fair and square. Stop crying. I mean, you're Osasuna, for God's sake. Like, what do you think? You come even close to Barcelona? You think that had Iñigo Martinez not been included, you would have won or something? Like, let's be real here. Anyways, let's move on to the next bit of news because, ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Rashford has offered himself to Barcelona, this time through Pini Zahabi. Now, Marcus Rashford was eager to come to Barcelona during the winter transfer market. He waited for Barcelona until the final days of the market, but unfortunately, Barcelona could not offload anyone, so they couldn't create enough space on their financial fair play for Marcus Rashford, so he ended up going on loan to Aston Villa. Aston Villa want to keep him after this loan is over because they're impressed with his performance. However, Marcus Rashford prioritizes coming to Barcelona, and in fact, he offered himself to Barcelona a couple of weeks ago, but now he has put himself in the hands of Pini Zahabi, who is, not only is he a very close friend of Jan Laporta, but Pini Zahabi is also the agent for Hansi Flick, for Robert Lewandowski, for Dani Rodriguez, and pretty much any player that wants to come to Barcelona has a very good chance of coming to Barcelona, with Pini Zahabi being how close he is to Barcelona. So now Marcus Rashford trying to use this avenue to make it to our club. Now, Barcelona are willing to sign Marcus Rashford, but only on loan, on one season loan, for two reasons. A, that loan would serve to see, would Marcus Rashford fit? And B, because that's 1 year less on his contract with Manchester United, which means that if Barcelona do decide to sign him on a permanent transfer, they would have to pay less for his transfer. Now, Marcus Rashford, in his eagerness to come to Barcelona, has also communicated to the club that not only he wants to come, but also he's willing to reduce his salary to make it happen. And of course, my question to you is, would you like to see Marcus Rashford in Barcelona? Let me know down below in the comment section. Now, we will end today's video with the news that Xavi Hernandez, after taking a full sabbatical year, has come out and given an interview where he has discussed a myriad of things, including what he thinks of Hansi Flick's Barcelona and what happened with him as a Barca coach. But first, he started talking about his love for FC Barcelona, and this is what the former Barcelona coach had to say. My son loves Lamine Yamal and Pedri. He loves Barca. Our daughter is 9. She loves Lewandowski and Rafinha. We are a Barca family. If the team play, we watch the men and the women's team. The kids collect the stickers for both men and women. We're happy that Barca is doing so well. Many people think that I wouldn't be happy because I'm not there anymore. But I'm very happy that the team and Hansi Flick is doing well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we can debate day and night whether Xavi Hernandez was a good coach or not. I think he wasn't. But one thing we cannot debate is this man's love for FC Barcelona. As I've always said, Xavi Hernandez is more culé than the crest itself. Someone who came up through the academy, someone who spent his whole career at Barcelona, someone who won everything there is to win with Barcelona. There's absolutely no doubt about Xavi's love for Barcelona. So I don't know how people can think that Xavi could be could be upset that Barcelona are doing well, but just because he's not the coach. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. There's no way Xavi would ever root for Barcelona to lose just because he's not the coach. I mean, we can all see how much Xavi Hernandez loves this club, and Xavi Hernandez making it clear through his statements. Now, Xavi Hernandez did discuss that meeting that he had with Hansi Flick. I reported about that, I think it was several months ago, where Hansi Flick went to Xavi's house and they met. And this is what the Barcelona coach had to say. We have a very good team that is only going to get better because it's so young. Hansi came here to see me and we spoke for 2 hours. We have a good relationship. And he said, thank you so much. What you helped create here means I'm happy. The players train hard and they get some of their mentality from you. I have a good relationship and respect for Hansi and his players, just as I had for Ronald Koeman before me. Koeman should be credited for bringing in Gabi, Balde, and other young players, which I benefit from. And he won the Copa del Rey. So Xavi Hernandez, talking about how Hansi Flick thanked him for the work that he had done because Flick was able to build upon that. And then he also thanks Koeman because he says Xavi, he built upon what Koeman had done, which of course this goes, by the way, to the point that I made many times before, because people used to be like, wow, Xavi's a great coach. It's thanks to Xavi that Hansi Flick is doing what he's doing. And I said, that's absolutely ridiculous. People said, well, you know, Lamine Yamal, Kouarsi, they all got debuted under Xavi, so it's thanks to Xavi that Flick is successful. And I'm like, again, that's very ridiculous, because in football, there's always going to be continuity. Unless you build a team, brand new team, and sign 23 or 26 players, there's always going to be continuity. The players that Flick had is the players that Xavi had. The players that Xavi had is the players that Koeman had. The players that Koeman had are the players that Setien had, that Valverde, etc., etc. You can go all the way back, right? Every coach that comes is still going to benefit from the players that the previous coach had. So to say that somehow what Flick is doing is thanks to Xavi because they're the same players, it's ridiculous. And here's Xavi pretty much making the same point. So this coming from Xavi himself. So if you think I'm a Xavi hater and I only said that because I hate him, well, here's Xavi himself saying that there's continuity in football. Flick benefited from those players just like he benefited from the players that Koeman had. There you go. Anyways, now Xavi ended, or he didn't end this interview. We'll end this video with these statements that Xavi Hernandez had, which was about the expectations of being a Barcelona coach. And this is what the Barcelona legend had to say. You need time. Even now, Barcelona is in construction. I was criticized when I said that when I was a coach. But Lamine is 17, Kouarsi is 18, Pedri is 22, Gavi 20, Balde 21. But if you don't win something for a season, then people panic. It was too emotional for me because I was a superstar too. A supporter too. He is a superstar, but I was a supporter too. You feel your energy going down because you and your family are from here. If we go somewhere else, I said to my staff, we will win with commitment and passion. So Xavi Hernandez saying that, there's a lot of pressure of being a Barcelona coach because if you don't win for a season, people panic. But I kind of disagree with that. It's not whether we win something or don't win anything during a season. I think there have been plenty of seasons where Barcelona have not won anything. The problem is where you don't see where the project is headed. Right? If you don't win anything in a season, but then you see that the team is getting better, you're like, okay, we might have not won, that sucks, but at least I know my team is getting better, and maybe next season we'll win something, or maybe the one after, right? It's like I always say, if this season Flick hadn't won anything, I would still be happy because our team has improved a million times. The problem is when you don't win anything and you realize that this project is not headed anywhere, which is what happened last season, right? Not only did we not win anything, we noticed that the team was on a decline. That's the problem. But anyways, that's my opinion. That's my thoughts and opinion about Xavi's statements. Let me know yours down below in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, Visca Barça.